How can anyone, whether they want to work in a language school or privately from their own laptop anywhere in the world, create a rewarding and impactful career teaching English as a second language, even if they are just starting out or have no teaching experience or ability? Hi, my name is Lynette Kim, and here on the TESOL Talk podcast, I aim to answer that very question.
Teaching grammar in an ESL language school in Australia or in an English-speaking country to ESL students that actually fly in and stay in the country to learn English as a second language, it doesn't have to be the boogeyman that you feel it could be. And I do understand new ESL teachers being very nervous and wary about teaching grammar. I was myself. I was like, oh my goodness, what do I remember from primary school, which is where you get the bulk of your grammar? I mean, you think verb, noun, adjective, pronoun. Is that it? What am I going to be looking at here, and how am I going to explain this stuff? But you don't have to worry. Number one, a TESOL course, a good TESOL course, covers all of the parts of speech and writing, and it helps you go through and you get a refresher and an explanation and sometimes charts and demonstrations for this type of teaching. So you've got that, but you don't have a hope in hell of remembering all of it unless you've got an amazing memory. But what happens is, as you're teaching in the ESL classroom with published course books, each unit has a grammar feature, and that grammar feature is well explained for the ESL students to be able to understand as it is as second language learners, let alone you as a teacher. And they always come with a partnered teacher's book, which has an explanation and it has the answers. So again, you've got that covered. But what I recommend is, before every class, if you have a grammar component in that particular class, just take 15 minutes or so. You could go online. There's so much information and so many free resources about teaching grammar. Read up on the grammar point right before you go in the class. Make sure you look at that component in the course book and have it set in your mind how you're going to explain this to someone else. So every classroom, before you teach grammar, just review everything, check that you understand it all, think about how you're going to link it to everyday life skills, and then put something up on the board as well. You don't want to be having your back to the classroom while you're writing something on the board, while you're trying to talk to the class, because you can't have them sitting there twiddling their thumbs while you have your back to them, and getting yourself all out of rhythm. So have the board fully prepared before class, have yourself fully prepared, and walk in with confidence, but only focus on that one grammar point. And if you get asked side questions that are off track, there's nothing wrong with saying that's a great question, but we're focusing on this grammar point. We'll put it on the board on our homework task for everyone to look up, and we'll discuss it in the next class. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. In fact, if someone asks a question you can't answer, that's okay. What you just need to say is, look, I'm going to go and look this up so I can answer this the best possible and come back with information and a printout for you guys tomorrow in the next class. Don't try and wing it through, because that's where you're going to come undone and students are going to smell blood in the water and go, this teacher doesn't know what they're doing. Far better to be honest and say, I need to go and check that. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. So grammar doesn't have to be something you fear teaching ESL in the classroom. If you're properly prepared, if you keep grammar resources on hand, there's some really good grammar books like Murphy's Grammar in Use. That's like the Grammar Bible. It has everything in that. And if you're teaching these books, you really need to bring these to life. And I will be talking about that in another video that we can go over. But preparation is key. Making sure that you've figured out how you're going to explain it, having it on the whiteboard, fully prepared before your class enters. All of these things will make teaching grammar a breeze instead of something you need to fear.